What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I am your host, Voice of Reason. Thank you for joining me. It's always a blessing. You could have been anywhere in the world, but this is where you at. I have a special guest. I have the nickname for her, but I'm gonna let her make her own. You tell them who you is, and if you want them to follow you wherever.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm Shaneiqua.
Okay.
But he got another name for me.
Boobie Trap Queen. Boobie Trap Queen in the building. Clap it up. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Appreciate you. Go ahead. Tell them a little something. You ain't got to get into your life.
Allow them to know why you call me Boobie Trap Queen.
Okay, so we was having a little discussion off camera, and she's just not having it. You know, she wants what she wants out of life, and that's fair, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes we put a little bit too much of what we want and not want that may not be realistic to obtain. But life is what they say. Sky is not the limit. You can look past the sky.
And I disagree.
Sky is the limit?
No.
You can look past the sky.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is why she has the booby traps. Yeah. So you explain why.
You should never have to settle for anything that you don't believe in. Anything, whatever your requirements are, a person should be able to check those boxes, and if in fact they don't, then they don't have a space with you.
Fair
and
enough.
I think that's fair, because you should know your worth.
You want to tell them anything about you or whatever? Give them a quick rundown who you is.
No.
Alright, cool. So we going straight in. I start off positive. I got this from, I'll put it in the timestamps. Amor Fati. That's love for one's faith. I think that's from I can't pronounce it, so I'm just going to put it in timestamps. That means the breakdown is love everything that comes your way, analyze it positively instead of saying, why me? So faith is something you should have anyway, but now your love for the faith in yourself is huge. So what's your take on that with anything that happens in your life, right? How you analyze it. What most of us do is we do say, why me? Or we do have a negative approach to it at first. No matter how small or big it is, you lose $20 or maybe you come out and your tire's flat.
So I mean, like I told you earlier, I believe that everything that we go through is for a reason. I believe everything that we experience is God's plan. Now, we may not like it or we may not agree with it, but I definitely believe I know that for me, everything that I've experienced has made me who I am today. No matter how much hurt, no matter how much pain, no matter how much trauma, it's all God is not gonna put you through anything that you cannot withstand, and I believe that is to make you a better you.
I hear that before. I don't really want to challenge it, but I do get a Bible verse that kind of makes me challenge that he doesn't give you more than you can handle. So when there's that scripture that says, my cup runneth over, that's an example of more than you can handle, because that means the cup was filled too much. So why do we have those moments if he never give us more than we can handle? Then the cup should never run over, should it?
It's all a test in life, right? So it's either you're gonna fail at it or you're gonna surpass it, right? So while you may feel like this is too much or it's overbearing or whatever the case may be, if you come through it, was it really too much?
Right. It's just in the moment you might feel too overwhelmed. But then when you get through it, it showed that it wasn't really what. Good comeback. Oh shit, good comeback. So a second part of that is we are not puppets. And kind of go with what we said already though. We are not puppets. We can maneuver around any situation we are faced with. We're not stuck in it. That kind of go hand in hand with what we're saying anyway, right? So when somebody feels like they went through something that's too overwhelming, you don't got to stay there. You have to dig yourself up out of it. That's another post that I had too.
You don't have to, because in life, right, some people choose to not dig themselves out of it or allow other people to come and save them and save the day or whatever the case may be. But I believe in life, everything is a choice, right? So you can choose to handle things on your own, or you can choose to solicit help or just stay there and do nothing. Will it help the situation? Maybe not.
Right.
However, it's a choice.
But if you choose to live by this Amor Fati, the love for one's faith, you won't stay in it. The point of this, the point of having love for oneself and faith is to get yourself up out of anything that may seem overwhelming, or to try not to look at it like it's unbearable, that you can get past it. I just wanted to start y'all off positively and feel like whatever you're going through out there, I know it's the holiday season, I don't know, when people go through things, maybe the holiday season is a little more triggering when things are
It is,
on the
because I
up and
feel
up.
like a lot of times, like we have a lot of memories that we share with maybe loved ones that are no longer here, or it could bring up some trauma about things that maybe you experienced around these times, and you're alone and things of that nature. I believe there are there are statistics that state that people are more depressed actually during the holiday season because of not being with their loved ones or whatever their situation is.
So that's why I started you out with that, because you will overcome and you are meant for greatness. But you have to put in work. Greatness won't just land in your lap.
I disagree. I disagree.
Greatness lands in your lap? We're going to start this already?
Ask, and you shall receive.
But be careful what you ask for, because everything comes with a price.
It does. However, you just got to question whether or not if that's the price that you're willing to pay. If not, put it back.
So this challenging young lady, we're going to go right into how we're even here to sit here. I find her very challenging but interesting. So I'm going to start with one of your posts already. That's what I'm saying. You don't want them. These posts are entertaining. You don't want them.
But interesting. Good.
You don't want them to follow you so they can
The
see
problem.
these posts.
So the problem is that men want everything in life easy. That's the problem, right? And I feel like sometimes as women, we lay the red carpet out for them because we feel like he might be the one. If I do this and I do that, he gonna marry me. When in fact, it's 5 other women, if not more, giving him the same treatment because they got the same thought in mind. But yet, he's only doing a bare minimum. Why?
The men today are softer, yes. But that doesn't mean you treat us all the same way or view us all in that same pot. Because you still have the authentic ones from back then. There's real niggas versus bitch niggas. That's what I'm saying. Like my man Cat Williams said. But look, we're going to go into some of her posts. I guess maybe at the end of this segment, she may give you her information so you can see these hilarious posts that she posts. I don't challenge them all. Some I have a gripe about, not many. All right, the first one is, I don't want a man to ever settle for me. Go find your dream girl, and if you can't find her, don't come trying to use me in the process. I want mine clingy, nasty, reassuring, unapproachable, God-fearing, and eyes only on me. Here's my problem.
Let's hear his problem.
All right, so I'm going to do the positive first. We're going to do positive first. What I agree with is true. Men don't settle for their women. You go for what you want on the high end.
You should. But some of y'all settle because the high end chose not to choose you. So y'all end up settling for the women that's allowing y'all to just coast through life. That's the problem.
True. I also agree with don't use people in the process of trying to figure shit out. I'm for that. Here's my issue. I want mine clingy. Do you really believe that until they're too clingy? Is there a too clingy? Because once you put that first,
I need my man to be clingy.
There's
at
no.
least in the beginning, at least, until we learn, what each other wants and likes and things of that nature. But I need to hear from you at least once or every 2 hours out of the day. I don't care if it's through a text, a phone call. It should never come a time where 24 hours has passed and I don't hear from you, because at that point, what are we doing? Bye, sir. Next.
So I'm gonna give you that one. That was my only gripe. The nasty, reassuring, unapproachable, God-fearing, and eyes only on me. I could support that. But we're not gonna dig deep, because when men step out, do X, Y, Z, I guess that would tell you that his eyes aren't only on you.
I should never know though. Like I said earlier, men are gonna cheat. Do what you do. It's life, right? But at the end of the day, your job is to make sure that I never find out. I should never feel it. I should never see it. I should never sense it. You should always be the same way. There's no reason why I should ever feel the need to be like, why are you doing that different? Never. Be consistent at all times.
So guys, I know men and women, especially black men and women, we bump heads a lot, way more I feel than any other race. But I must agree with her right there and say, fellas, if it's for sport, like it should be, not praising it or saying you should be out there slinging, but if it's for sport, there should be no feelings there. Your queen is your queen, and that's the energy, motivation, protection, security has to stay the same throughout it. So if you gonna play, know how to play.
I agree, and I feel like The problem lies where y'all don't be honest with yourselves and y'all don't be honest with the individual. Like, I feel like if you walking into a situation and you giving a person a choice and you allowing them and you letting them know where it is that you stand, there's no reason why anybody should expect or anticipate anything further than what was already stated from the beginning.
Nah, but the dealing's changing. The more access given, the more privileged
But
motherfuckers
there's no
get.
reason why any more access than what was already initially established should be given. If in fact we just doing whatever it is that we doing, nothing should ever change, because I should not be given any more access to you, and you shouldn't be given any more access to me. You should never get mad about the limited access that you were given, because unless at that point our terms change, and if in fact they did, that's when we need to bring it back in and have another conversation and say, hey, where are we? Because I truly believe in giving people choices. I don't think that anybody should be taking anybody's choices away, and all things are fair game if in fact everything is laid out on the table.
Sounds good, but again, the access I definitely feel you on, and if you keep it to that, so whatever the terms was, for example, if it's one a week, you go do blah blah blah, that's it, and it stays at one a week, fine. But I feel like after a while, people are gonna request more.
And again, that's where the conversation should be had, and say, hey, this is where I am, where are you? If we're not in the same place, then
It's a clip. Agreed. So I give her that. Fellas, take care of home, protect home. Home should never feel anything that you do. Never. Ever.
But that's not always the case, because we know sometimes I start to feel emotions and, catch feelings and stuff too.
Okay, see, I was going to let her rock, but see, this is where I got to challenge
It's
that.
a fact,
The
though.
thing is, when you step out and you're controlling that, or you feel you control that situation, what happens is the same way home not supposed to feel it, I'm supposed to still get the same dealings from home as well. So now let's say I'm out there, right? Again, because home has to work as well. You can't slip on your end. Because now if you're slipping on your end while I'm doing XYZ, XYZ's putting in pain because they don't have a slot. When you're on probation, you don't book off as much. You don't fuck up as much. When you know the job is yours, if you don't feel like coming in the mall, I'm not coming in the mall. So that person who's on probation that don't have a secure slot, every performance, every time should be to the best of their ability. Hypothetically saying, you want to say it in an optimistic light. So now home, they secure. So they have a day where they got a little energy, they drop it like they supposed to. Next day, like, I'm a little tired. Like you even said when we were talking off camera, you better take these 5 minutes.
But it's something though, right? It's something though, right? Versus her just being like, I'm not giving you nothing, I don't feel like it. Like,
True.
It's a sacrifice.
That's true.
Right?
I'm
No,
true.
I don't feel like it. But at the same time, you know what, baby? Because I want to make sure that my man is straight and I want to please you and I want to make sure that, I don't send you outside to the wolves. It may not be all of what you want. But if I truly believe that if in fact a woman really loves and cares about you, we tend to make sacrifices all of the time. Like we don't there's a lot of shit that we don't want to do. But because I love my man and I want to make sure that, he knows that I love him and he knows how I feel about him, I'm gonna take care of him, whatever that looks like.
Good answer. I did not, this is not rehearsed, so she's actually meaning this. She's not just saying that on cam. That's genuine, We're gonna move on from that. So again, I gave you your gems, fellas. Listen to the woman. I have an issue with this one. This is really entertaining. Until a man could buy me Chik-Fila on a Sunday, I'm not believing nothing the man says. She was dragging it, but let her break that down.
First of all, let's be honest. Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday, right? But no, I don't believe nothing the men say. I believe that everything is a lie until proven true.
Is that a good way to really be in every scenario?
It's not.
You could be guarded. You can be aware. You can say, I'm going to watch, I'm going to really pay attention. I'm going to really feel vibes. I'm going to really analyze. Do the research. Do the work. You don't want to put in no work. Anyway, but that is too much of a broad scale of things to just be like, nah, no nigga is trustworthy.
Nah, don't get me wrong. Now, I have to accept the fact that I am sworn as a woman. And that's truly how I feel. However, like, I I'm not one of them women that's gonna go into any situation. I don't care what situation it is. Yeah, I believe it. I don't believe it. I need to see facts. I need to see. I need to feel. I need to touch. I need to taste. I need to see. You're not about to tell me whatever it is that you want to tell me. I'm gonna listen to you, yes, but in that listening, I'm still looking. I'm looking to see that the things that you said were true. And if in fact they prove to not be, or something look a little off, nah, you ain't. It's dead with me.
And that's fair, but see, that's why I know the post was like mostly comedy, because you can say that and that's a good breakdown. But if I just read that on there, I'm like, damn, why would if there's a guy following you or on your page or whatever, and he reads that he might have liked you, that's discouraging as fuck.
I mean, it
Don't
is.
you think? That's
It
like
may
sending
be.
them all away. That's like a repellent.
may be.
Niggas don't try
It
because I
may
don't
be.
believe you.
It may be.
So nobody shoot your shot because I don't believe y'all niggas.
It may be. However, I always say that only the strong will survive. So if in fact you feel defeated by something that I post because it struck a nerve, then guess what? You ain't for me. And I don't want no weak niggas. So guess what? Bye.
That was a booby trap.
Yeah.
Booby trap queen.
If that's what you want to call it.
Booby trap. We're gonna have many
that's
examples.
Yeah.
Have many examples of that. That was funny though. I wasn't triggered by that.
He was.
At this point, I can't tell if I'm meeting them crazy or making them crazy. Well, with that last post, I would definitely say making them crazy.
I do. I might, drive people a little stir crazy, but it's because I need to be sure. So yeah, I ask the same questions over and over just to see if I'm gonna get the same answer. Because when a liar lies, what happens? They don't remember what they lied about. So yeah, by the end, you looking like, you know what, bitch, bye. Because I can't keep up with the lies that I'm telling. So yeah, they get a little cuckoo, and I might be making them like that. But I think they have a little bit in them when they first come to me anyway. So.
You don't have a little crazy in you? You don't think you're crazy?
I know I'm crazy. I ain't even gonna deny that at all. I know I am. However, I'm able to suppress it, until somebody does something, something a little off-putting, and then it starts ticking and it come out.
So it's conditionally crazy.
Yeah, that's the word. Conditionally crazy.
So what you think crazy attracts?
There's a lot. There's different kinds of crazy. Like I'm not one of the people that's gonna be staring outside your house. I'm not doing none of that. There's different kinds of crazy. I believe
Definitely
that.
levels. Definitely levels. That's why I was offended when you was like, if I'm the side guy, I don't care what the main guy look like.
But some do.
Fellas, do we give a fuck?
I want to hear. Do y'all go and look to see what her man or previous encounter looks like?
How do we care?
We care.
No. And it goes back to a confidence thing, because if you know the value of you and where you stand, it don't matter. Now, I think people who do that has certain doubts within self.
I think that a little bit of that comes from too, like, it depends on what it is that you're picking up though too. Like if you feel like you know or you have a high class woman or hoe or whatever the case may be, you want to know, because I've had men be like, how many niggas tried to talk to you today? Because they want to know if they right in their justification of choosing you.
Fair enough. That was a good one.
That's not necessarily true.
That was a good one. But that's them on their high horse. I'm top tier. Everybody's top tier. Ain't proof shit. They just saying that he's supposed to just eat that.
I am. I'm sorry.
So unless you could buy me Chick-Fila on Sunday, I'm not believing that.
And listen, that's a choice. I can get Chick-Fila on a Sunday. Okay? Now, could you walk in there and get it? I don't know. But I might break in and get it.
I'm beginning to learn life. I think women are better at selling their story than men are. They're just better, like the way they present themselves, the way they come off, is just, even if it's bullshit, they're better at making it sound believable. And we're not, so that's why they don't believe us.
Because you have some men that are groomed to be sellers of themselves, right? If you look at some men, right, they don't have a pot to piss in, but they might come outside in the flyest shit ever, and the girl looking and she like, oh, he looks good, and you thinking that he could provide the world, and they got shit.
That's visual though. I'm talking about on the mouthpiece.
Nah, some of them come with the mouthpiece.
I mean, well, they better.
It depends on the individual. Like I said, they were groomed to have the gift of gab. They were groomed to make themselves look a certain way and be able to fit the position and be able to, pick up whatever and whoever they need to.
Right. Fair enough. Look, you know me. That's it, part 1. We're going to pick up part 2 right now, though.